Let's do the thing here. Color looks. I love the warm hues of the skybox. It's awesome, especially on like a Japanese ship. It just looks beautiful. Okay. While this loads up, I'm going to take a look at just a couple other things. Jam, we'll get to your Jean Bart next, so I can clear that out of here, okay? Close Duchess. Whisper. Very strange message in chat, but whatever. Furry handcuffs. All right. I know, I just sat there. I'm like, huh? Now, you're divisioned with a friend who's also in Colorado. Also in a battleship, I should say. So generally speaking, I don't like to do 2 battleships or 2 of any particular class, or even 3, because it forces too much change. Like, you and your Colorado and battleships going the way you are. Now 3 battleships are basically going very heavy on the west side, and then there's just the 1 over on the east side. So you got to be careful with that. You might be setting that flank up to lose quickly. Now, for those of you guys who don't know anything about the Ashitaka, well, exactly right, Dutch, yeah. And when they see divisions going, typically ships follow other ships, and so the middle, they all went this way too, and yeah. So anyway, those of you that, well, only subs are the winners, not so much. But anyways, obligatory exploding Nuremberg did not explode. But Ashitaka is basically the old A-hull Amagi. Once upon a time, the Japanese battleships had terrible A-hulls. Like, no range. The guns themselves usually sucked. I mean, it was painful. Like the Fuso, for example. Guys, the Fuso's A-hull originally, what was it, 12-kilometer range for the guns? For the guns, 12-kilometer range. Cruisers could outshoot at tier 5, 6, whatever. 13. Thank you, SAT. I did say A-hull. A-hull. But anyway, so Wargaming removed those hulls from the game, all right? They removed the Fusos, they removed the Amagis, they removed the Nagatos. And then what they decided to do was they decided to release those hulls as down-tiered premium ships. Oh, obligatory exploding Nuremberg. You don't just stop and sit broadside. Goodbye.
But then it can explode.
Oh my god, it didn't explode. Somebody else got it. So anyway, this is an Amagi A-hull ship. So it's got 10 barrels. These are fantastic 16-inch guns. She's also got a decent secondary suite. Being Amagi, she's relatively fast as well. But you generally speaking want to play it very much like an Amagi, as a kiting ship. It's not really a good pushing ship. It's good at kiting away from enemies. I used to love playing this ship in Operation Narai, actually, at Tier 7. With a secondary spec captain, you just do a lot of crazy things with it. Yes, it's got a low profile too, that's true. Yeah, Duckman, that's why the Miyogi grind nearly killed you, because every one of those ships is just painful at the beginning. And that's at a time when they don't have, you know, free XP isn't easily available, right? So...
Yeah, you new players don't know how good you have it.
Seriously. Seriously.
Yeah. Like it wasn't even this easy when I started playing, and I haven't been playing all that long, few years.
And then, let's not forget the secondaries used to fire AP, and then Wargaming changed it, so all secondary. Oh, nice hit on the New Mexico. So all secondaries are, HE. I mean, there's a lot of things that really sucked for battleships for a long time.
Yeah, Yamato used to be the OG secondary battleship.
Mm-hmm.
And ironically, the easiest way to deal with the Yamato was you rushed him and rammed him.
Remember when Yamato actually had like the OG super heal, and you just couldn't kill Yamato? Stock Fuso getting into tier 9 matches. Ouch. Nice kill.
Or
So
the
the-
last was Tachi put the tier 2 IGN DD versus Yamato, and you just watch Yamato slowly die to torpedoes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Umikaze.
Yeah. And I'm gonna point out I haven't taken a point of damage yet.
Well, fortunately for you, you've had other people closer all the time, right? Andrea Doria's in front of you. Earlier there was somebody else that was kind of making loops around. I think it was the Mayhan. So you remember when Congo came out and being amazed at its speed and power? I was amazed at how little I could hit with that damn ship. It was fast, but I could never... I was terrible at gunnery early on in game. So Myogi and Congo were painful for me. Absolutely painful for me. But then I got to the Fuso, which is basically the Japanese shotgun. And I fell in love with that ship. And then I got to the Nagato and it's like, oh god, here we go again. Back to the Congo playstyle. Farragut. I wonder what could be coming your way.
I still
Yeah, that's
will
sort of
not,
why I was turning. I figured he launched torpedoes at me.
And look, you're right.
I
So-
still won't talk about the OG Colorado.
The Lolorado. I actually like that ship a lot. And I built it for secondaries, and that was back when 7.2 kilometer was the longest... Oh my god, you're just slapping people. That was back when the 7.2 was like the longest reach you can get on a tier 7 battleship. And I loved it because, one, they were HE secondaries at a time when most other battleships were AP. And the other thing I liked about it was it acted like an early warning system. So if I heard the secondaries going off, it told me there was a destroyer nearby. Actually saved my butt a couple of times. Yeah, you didn't read the slowing down there.
When he's going that slow, you do need to aim just underneath the first turret.
Yeah, my brain didn't register the fact that he was slowing down.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or no, rather, actually, no. I thought he would accelerate after that. So I shot ahead of him.
Right.
Because it would be something I would do.
And that's one of the things you got to be careful about, is playing the game based off how you play. Nick Siddick, you said you're welcome and thanks for being a follower and for 2 years, and you're an introvert, and believe it or not, I actually was a huge introvert. I still consider myself a pretty big introvert too. So I get you there.
No idea what that is.
Valiant, you want me to do your Vamp Deuce? Should be able to do that.
I mean, at this point in my life, there's only two sorts of people. People I can't stand and people I tolerate.
There you go. People that like to watch intros. Oh, that's funny. Now here you're salvo firing, and I would actually recommend ripple firing. I'd recommend you just hold down the left mouse button, because I find personally that ripple fire is more accurate when you've got a bow or stern on target with a very low profile. Like I find that the guns hit the center mark more often that way.
But luckily for us, the guy went broadside.
He just decided I've had enough and went and did the thing. Yeah. Stephen Bishop, I agree with you. Our next door neighbor came over the other day and she's like, I don't know anything about you guys and I've lived next to you for 15 years. I'm like, yep, there's a reason.
I was going to say also, clearly Steve has not watched any of my streams. Staying calm is not part of it.
No. No. Putin is a very entertaining streamer, so you definitely want to check out his streams and give him a follow. I'll do the shout out thing for you, Putin. And let's get that replay up for you. I mean, I don't know that I have much I can give you feedback wise in that battle.
Nice. The be right back screen.
Coffee or dogs?
I mean, I definitely played like a sniper at the beginning with cutting away. If I remember correctly, anyway.
Say that again.
Well, I definitely play like I didn't want to get too close.
Yeah. No, and that's smart. I mean, I think you did the right thing there. Yeah, and then you're doing the usual. I mean, you're kind of playing it like a cruiser, right? You're going behind the islands there, but you're always keeping somebody else in front of you to get shot at.
I think more importantly, it's target selection too. Like that's what I think I take away from this replay. Like he's punishing anything that's joining him side. Like
And,
he
yeah.
ignored a DD running away, which you probably already dodged your torps to punish somebody who was broadside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely very good heads up awareness of opportunities to whack things. And I mean, you whacked a few and missed a couple, but you know. And I mean, it's a Farragut at tier 6. If this was a bottom tier game, maybe you'd be more concerned about destroyers.
Yeah, and like I know at least at one point I did try to shoot the ADD. I don't know if it was a Farragut or not.
It was the Farragut. I think it was. I gotta go back in my mind. But anyway, I mean, it was a pretty solid battle. And look at the other side. Like, the other side still won. Even though they were like...
And they had an AFK Pensacola until like right at the end of the match.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see what happened on your side this time. I'm going to watch the opposite side. I want to watch the opposite side. I almost feel like most of the enemy team went to A as well. And then they just kind of sat around broadside to you. And D'Andrea Doria, for that matter. All right, Huron, London, Synop. Repulse got smacked.
When he made a game return, so...
Yeah. And then he turned back in. Now we can't see the health anymore. He's just too far away, I think, from you. But both destroyers are desperately trying to torp the Synop, and they're failing miserably. Oh, is he gonna ram? He's gonna ram. Yep. Okay. So that was the decisive play over there, because now the Huron was the only thing. No, there's one other destroyer. There it is, the Bliska. Did those two ram? No, they traded torps. Oh my god. So literally everything else went to A and just fed you. Like,
yeah.
And that Pensacola, what a Chad.
I got lucky and I wasn't complaining.
Yeah. What an absolute
Chad. I
Chad.
didn't even take any damage near the end of the match there when I was
Yeah.
charging down the Farragut and Caracciolo.
Well, at that point, who cares, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got
That's
high
awesome. Mm-hmm.
caliber. I just don't think it was high caliber.
Hey, the Pensacola's moving. He like imagine like loading into a game, seeing all the death that occurred at D, and saying, "Oh, all right,"
Just
you know, like.
and like he's resolutely going towards D right now as well, right?
Well,
So he's like, "Ooh, I better go get a cap."
yeah. Well, it was already capped. I thought looked like.
Nope, it wasn't capped, but he
Okay.
didn't get it into the cap before the match ended.
Okay.
Well, why
Yeah,
you guys
but-
are so
well.
mad at a Pensacola single-handedly winning D side?
Right. But of course, if the Pensacola was there, he probably would have just gotten slapped by the sled out. But if he didn't, maybe he could have killed a destroyer or two. Huh. Well, that's a pretty good replay to check out. Thanks for sending it.